The behaviour has been condemned by both sides of politics today.
The scenes that we've seen are disturbing because people are entitled to their views. I have a great deal of respect for people who are voting either yes or no.
Well, I condemn nasty behaviour wherever it occurs. Wherever it occurs. We need to have a respectful debate. What I would say to people is be respectful. I respect every Australian, regardless of whether they're going to vote yes or whether they're going to vote no.
Jacinta Price last night was also in tears as she spoke about Indigenous people being ignored by the media and politicians.
I was simply a vessel. I was a vessel for the women sitting in that room, the cousin of a young girl murdered hanging from the tree.
Joining me now, Sky News Northern Australia correspondent Matt Cunningham. Matt, thanks for your time. Look, you've obviously covered this issue extensively with your documentary. What's your reaction to what unfolded last night?
Oh, it was terrible, I thought. I think this debate has become so ugly and so divisive. I mean, when we filmed that documentary a few months ago, I mean, there were signs then that things were becoming ugly and divisive, and now you're seeing that boil over onto the streets. I mean, the behaviour that you see of those protesters there at that function in Adelaide is absolutely appalling. No one should be subjected to that sort of abuse. I think we should probably point out that both sides have been guilty at times of stepping over the line. I think we've seen some pretty ordinary behaviour from some in the no camp at times as well. But, you know, whichever side of this debate you're on, I don't think anyone can argue now that this has not become an ugly and divisive debate. And I really do not know now how long it's going to take this country to recover from the scars of this referendum itself, regardless of what the result is on October 14.
It's less than 4 weeks to go, of course, until the referendum. The latest polling from The Guardian has the no vote with a slight majority, 51% of respondents saying that they intend to vote no. 42% consider themselves a hard no. Despite this, Matt, we're seeing that leading Yes campaigners, Linda Burney and Noel Pearson, are still optimistic they can get over the line. Here's what they had to say.
I am very optimistic about this date. The 14th of October is a day in which we can all make history in this country.
I have an absolute belief it's all for us Australians to bring this together to a successful conclusion on October the 14th.
I mean, Matt, the polls very clearly have been showing a fall in support over the months since the start of this year. Do you think the referendum is lost completely for the yes side, or is there hope founded?
I think they've got a lot of work to do in the 25 days between now and October 14 if they're going to get over the line. I mean, history was against them from the beginning, and I know the early polling was certainly strongly in favour, but when you consider that just 8 of 44 referendums have been successful in this country's history, they were always going to be up against it. I think what's concerning in that latest poll that you showed there that was published in The Guardian today is that the number of hard no's, of locked-in no's, is I think at 48%, and the number of hard yeses is at just 28%. You've still got a few undecideds, but the longer this campaign goes on, the more those undecideds are tending to move to the no camp rather than the yes camp. I mean, I was at the Garma Festival at the beginning of August, and the yes campaigners there were saying, well, you know, we think 40% of Australians are still undecided, and we're hoping that, you know, with our army of volunteers over the next couple of months, we can shift them into the yes camp and we can win this thing. But as time goes on, more and more of those undecideds appear to be drifting to the no side, and that'd be a real concern for the yes campaign at this stage.